Let's make delicious pesto chicken sliders perfect for dinner or an appetizer. To start out, we're going to make a simple garlic butter that we will use at the end. This is perfect to make ahead. Start by combining melted butter with garlic powder and salt, then add some freshly chopped basil and parsley. You can also substitute dried herbs if you'd like. You can see the recipe for more information about that. Just stir up all those ingredients nice and good, and you can store this for later, make it ahead in the morning if you'd like, and then remelt it once you're ready to use it. But once you finish that, we can start prepping the rolls. So take 12 Hawaiian rolls and start cutting them in half with a bread knife. This is a lot easier said than done. It can be tricky to keep the whole thing even, but just do your best. If it doesn't look perfect, it will be totally fine and the rolls will still taste great. So here I am. I've pretty much finished cutting through the whole thing, and I'm going to carefully remove that top layer. Sometimes some of the rolls will come loose. It can depend on the package you get, so just be really careful when transferring it. Now you can grab a pan. You can use a glass pan or a foil pan like I'm using here, whatever you prefer. Just place the bottom half of the rolls in that pan, and we're going to start topping it. Start by taking mozzarella cheese. You're going to take half of what is required in the recipe and sprinkle it over the rolls. Make sure to get it in a nice even layer. Next, we're going to get some pesto chicken. Now, I make my pesto chicken ahead of time in the crock pot. It uses 4 ingredients: lemon, pesto, chicken, and chicken broth. You can check out the recipe for that here, or you can just use simple shredded chicken that you mix with some pesto. It's really up to you. Whatever you choose, start putting it over those rolls in an even layer. And next, we're going to add a little more pesto. Now, on the pesto, you can use whatever pesto you like. You just want to check for the salt content of it. For example, my pesto wasn't very salty, so I added quite a bit of salt to my chicken. So just keep that in mind. We're just brushing a little more pesto over the chicken. It doesn't need to cover it completely. We're just adding a little more since we've already mixed some in with the chicken itself. I'm using a pastry brush here because I find that it works the best. Now next we have some grated Parmesan cheese, which I'm going to sprinkle over. This really complements the flavors in the pesto, and who doesn't love Parmesan cheese? After you get that spread over, we're going to finish with the rest of the mozzarella. So grab the rest of that and sprinkle it over. It's great to have that mozzarella both on the bottom layer and on the top layer. So make sure you get that all over, and then we are done with our layers. Just grab your rolls and put the top back on. If any of them are coming apart, you can kind of smush them together here. And then lastly, grab your garlic butter and spread it all over the rolls. Make sure it gets down in all the nooks and crannies. And then cover the pan with foil and bake at 350 for 10 to 15 minutes or until all the cheese is wonderfully melted. Remove the foil and bake for 5 more minutes to let the rolls crisp up, and you're done. Serve as an appetizer or as an easy family dinner and enjoy.